Yes, welcome to Keeping the Ball on the Ground. He's back! Man's back, how you doing?
Good, mate, I've missed you.
Where have you been, mate? He's been hiding, hasn't he?
He has been hiding. Where have you been hiding?
Just COVID, mate, just COVID's not letting me come here.
I can't believe COVID's still kicking a bomb, man. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, Dave, who's had a better season, COVID or Diageo?
Diageo, oh
yeah.
they're on fire, man.
Both have been relentless, aren't they?
Thank God they're not in the SPL because Rangers had no chance how well they did.
You're looking thin.
Think so? I don't feel thin.
No, I'm talking about your hair. How are you doing? The two security guards on the ghost train, he's alright?
Honestly, what a horrendous start.
What?
Game of basketball. Lost it already, innit?
Up the scaffolding.
Up the scaffolding.
Did you?
Shambles, mate. Absolute shambles.
What happened?
Threw it up, mate, and then, don't know if we can say it, can we?
Yeah.
I went up to get it, mate, lost it, and I think we thought the guy's gone mental at me now.
Because he was up a five stories up the scaffolding.
Don't let him, do you? You don't want to get that ice caught in the scaffolding, mate.
Mate, what is the look? What is this new look?
Just a hipster.
Is this because you're getting your new flat in
Got a new flat in the
Pittodrie?
West End.
Did you get it sorted?
I'm 60th in the waiting list, but the worry is, it's going to be
You were 60th last week, have you not moved on any?
I don't know. We should phone up actually every day and just check up on them. But what I'm worrying about, they come back, it's got to be about 5G a month, man.
5G a month?
It's a bit heavy, but it should be alright.
Talking about heavy, Kev, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Just good to see Andy back.
It's been hard watching some of the guests you've had to replace me.
Who are you caning?
A few, well, Baz talks shite for a living, doesn't he? His brother just needs to stick to predicting scores. Mate. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm only joking. It's been a good watch, but I've missed you.
Must say, devastated for John Higgins, but Kev, congratulations on beating him in the final.
Hi, John.
He was your double at that big catch.
How is he your
Big
double?
Jan. I thought he was your double, the big boy that beat him.
That guy, John Higgins, unbelievable. He got the whole nation going again, mate, didn't he? Put everybody with that. It's been so shite the last year. And that, I didn't win, but it's all good champions. He'll come again. What a man. Stephen Henry, honestly. He's really
Pint of butter, he needs a pint of butter, Stephen Henry, didn't
Oh
he?
my God, just jealousy of him, right at him. And
Was he slaughtering them, aye?
Just you can just see it. It's when you don't want somebody to do well. You can just see every week.
Few bitchy remarks.
So we'll see. He's coming back to play next month, so we'll see what happens to him.
I don't really watch snooker, but Stephen Henry does annoy me though. Like, he seems like a dead, dry, opinionated, like tries to like put people down all the time.
He's won 7, right? But as soon as he started getting beat and stuff, he just went running. Do you know what I mean? John Higgins is still doing it every year, 20 year, and Stephen Henry's sitting in his house. So
No, well, John Higgins is playing in finals and Stephen Henry's doing shout-outs on Instagram for 65 quid.
Aye.
there you go. So
Shut yourself for you, I know.
exactly. Petrify, who's Paul saying? Don't be embarrass yourself. You know who I'm up. You know who I'm up.
Did you watch it with a few ciders, Kev?
I did a few Thatchers.
Oh, nice.
Just had the 4. That was enough. And then John Higgins. Obviously, snooker side. I think probably the easy part of snooker is potting the balls. But the psychological part of it, concentrating for that length of time, figuring out each shot, that must be the difficult bit. And I felt sorry for John last night because I thought he was totally in control and something just must have happened that fucking lost his way because he had a big opportunity in the frame. He got back in and then he gave the frame back to the Chinese boy. But fair play to the Chinese boy, he's still got to go and do the business, and at the age of 20, big future ahead, and John was very complimentary of him, which was...
He'll come again.
The man of the man.
You talking about psychological, about snooker, did you see that fucking idiot on Twitter that says snooker's the hardest sport? You not seen that?
No.
Mate, need to get it up before we go.
Who's the guy?
I don't know.
What is his?
That horny guy, what was his name?
Oh, Eden?
Might have been him.
Who?
I put Eden.
Because he was baldy. It was on
Eden?
Twitter, he said that snooker's the hardest sport.
In the world?
Aye. Come on.
It's not.
You can't be 30 stone and win a world championship, it's the hardest sport in the world.
But what's hard about it? Like, you could be sitting down for about 20 minutes while a guy just racks him up. Ask Craig Gordon if it's hard. It's 147 for fun.
I think it's certainly mentally, but no.
But mentally, it's still no the hardest.
I know, how was so hard?
No, but
I agree.
you think, but say, if you're going up to pot up, like how nervous your horn would be shaking.
And you can say that about any sport.
Like golf's the same.
No, it's not. Aye.
Tennis, like...
No, yes, listen, certainly.
Mate,
not.
the hardest sport.
The hardest sport's the one that's mentally draining and physically draining.
I'll tell you,
mate.
aye.
Boxing the hardest.
But football's the hardest because, see, boxing, you have one fight every year or every 6 months. Football's every week.
I know,
Do you know
but
what I mean?
team sport, innit? I think individual sports are obviously going to be harder.
Yeah, pressure on you.
But
I see people say tennis, they play 5 hours matches. Mate, tennis is, You're only just
stopping all the time as well,
stopping. I'm never really running non-stop.
Was it Masters all weekend for you? Masters.
Sean
weekend?
Murphy.
Masturbating.
Superb sound.
Sean Murphy.
Sean Murphy, to be fair, he played well.
Snooker is the hardest single player sport in the world.
looks
Changing my mind. He's questioning people to change his mind. So let's date the now.
Change his mind. Well, what can we say to him now? What's the things that we can put in place to
Well,
prove him wrong?
I need him to come on the show and explain why it's the hardest. Like what's so hard about snooker?
The things he must be saying it's hardest is...
You don't need you, there's no physical training about it.
No.
It's like,
But the thing is with that is you're always... See if you're a wee bit jerky or nervous, 1 inch and you could just be out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
You experience with that
nice,
1 inch, aye.
See when I said that, I knew I'd sort of say like...
What about Virgo when it hits the two sides then goes in, it's wiped its feet on the way in?
And I go,
Aye.
is it that? No. Is it? No, it's the one he's bastard. I had the one in my head there, I want to say. Where's the cue ball going? He loves that one, didn't he?
Yeah, where's the cube?
The white ball's gone nowhere near the pocket. Oof.
Big break was good though. I like
It's all
that.
in the game.
That was brilliant, wasn't
You better believe it's right.
We're going to
We're
be.
going
It's
to
the best
Barry, this
example,
became a snooker podcast today, innit?
Barry.
Barry Beans.
Barry Beans. What about that?
Who's that? There's no
Story
watched
about
it.
how Barry Ferguson was named. Did you see that?
Oh, aye, Barry Beans or something.
Uh-huh.
Was it somebody for an advert or
An
something? he was
advert,
saying?
Who are you named after? Gorham, innit?
Andy Murray.
Fuck knows.
Definitely Gorham.
Don't know. Who are you after?
Simon Jordan, the Crystal Palace chairman.
I like him by...
That's a big Crystal Palace fan,
Aye.
What about you?
Paul Potts. Remember Paul Potts?
Oh, Paul Potts.
Paul Tim, no?
Kev, who are you?
Don't know, mate. I hate a word with my mum calling me Kevin. Who gets called Kevin?
Kevin's alright.
Kevin Home Alone, that's what I shout at.
Kevin McAllister. My
Yeah.
name's Alistair, so people think I'm Kevin McAllister.
Perfect. Right. Oh, by the way, he started playing COD and he said, can you get him in with the Rangers, boys?
Mate, what? Have you actually
You
deleted it?
I've not played it for ages.
See, if you were in with the Rangers, but who would you go for? Who would you go for with your double-barrelled shotgun?
I'd blast one of them. I'd really blast one.
Who would you blast?
Scotty Arfield. Can I just ask you all how you're doing your love life now? I want to make sure you're alright, because I don't know how you're doing.
Aye, sound, mate.
Alright.
We had a good kiss and cud on Sunday.
Anything else? Just enjoyed yourself,
Just
didn't you?
enjoyed yourself for
Kevin?
20 minutes.
Aye, life's rosy.
Did you both to the hooter right out?
I love that.
How's
How's the
Laura?
ringer?
Spoke to her much?
Kind of what you just said there, she got a boyfriend.
No
Who
way.
Laura's going out with Jack Fincham.
Aye.
Well, I'd punch his and then take that happen.
See, I actually knew it.
Mate, seriously, see, I've been thinking about it, right? December was possibly the most damaging month in my career. And for most people...
Are you sure? Fuck's sake.
For most-
I can get one trip, it was a wee bit.
Was Amsterdam December? Was it December? Simon, Andrew, Kevin. So, but in December, it was so damaging. I believe 99% of the people would have folded and not came back with the Laura Anderson. Let's not be. It was horrendous. I should have had her. I should have had her up the road and with wee Jack for still game. I should have embraced myself in it. I did fold at Parkers and that, but I've came back and it's all good. Champions Day, they come
Oh,
back.
so you're comparing yourself to John Higgins,
In that mould, and that's the difference between me and now. Like, these things happen.
Elite mentality. What does Robbie Nielsen put in his hair after training at Moose?
Don't know, mate. Don't know. I'm scared to say it. He's my fucking manager.
Have you seen him is he smartly dressed? I think Robbie Nielsen's quite
Nah,
he's
yes,
smartly
aye.
dressed. What does he usually wear during the day?
Training
V-neck.
Turtleneck.
After training, V-neck shirt.
No, there's a long jacket.
Does he wear on
Aye.
I've seen quite often at the West End, he's always walking has he got a couple of big
Aye,
hands,
dogs.
aye? They get some inside info for trap 6 or 1.
Do you know what a team you've got, mate?
Think so?
Oh, mate, what a squad of players you've got. I think you could finish third next season.
I thought you were
They're
going
big ass.
to say. By the way, how much does this table remind you of Lee McCulloch's new teeth?
Mate, Jig's teeth, man.
Right?
He's brilliant.
Oh, mate, have you not seen that?
I know I've seen them, but obviously up close and personal. Like Andy, are they proper bright?
Aye, proper,
French
proper
white
bright.
bright.
He's on Instagram or not now, isn't he?
He's top man, I
Aye,
love
good
him,
guy.
honestly.
I was messaging him on Instagram. Spoke
what?
highly. I'll tell you later. I was steaming when I was messaging him. Embarrassed. Right, fit boys, ready?
Aye.
That was a good wee start. Enjoyed that. Rangers dropped their first points for a long time, Andrew. Is it just drop points or will they now drop their play piece for the rest of the season?
Come on now.
I'm kidding.
I've been very scared. I've not said once it's over, but it's done, let's be honest.
It's done.
Going into the Old Firm game, I just thought, I think it was 16 points going into the game, and I thought at the end of January, Rangers obviously had Celtic, had to go to Pittodrie, Easter Road, away to Motherwell. I thought if it was still 16, the league was done, but now it's what, 20? 21? 21 in it. But see, to be fair, I don't think Rangers have played well for a few games now.
No.
Even leading to that Celtic game on, but they've not really had to. And,
Aberdeen played quite well.
Aye, they did, but so did Motherwell, but it's the same old with Rangers and Celtic. If you go 1-0 down to these teams, they've got something to hold on to. Like Motherwell had to fill a fucking wish on the box for the second half, so it's hard, you know what I mean? And I don't think Rangers played that well, but they'll not be happy with a point, but you'll take it with the situation that the league's at. What
do you think was wrong with the first half performance, Paul?
I think Motherwell, Simon, credit to them. Second half they did, I think they went almost 2 5s. And from a Motherwell point of view, they'll be disappointed with the two up top that they didn't hold it up better, because it was just attack v defence.
What was that, second half you mean?
Second half, sorry, I know you're asking about the first half, Simon. I'm just feeling a wee bit nervous in there.
But to be fair, it wasn't really, like Rangers like to knock it out, it wasn't really a pitch for that, was it? I felt for like Hadji.
No, do you know what though? I think it was a good point for Rangers. I know you're saying they'll be disappointed, obviously, of course they will, but right to the last whistle, they were still going, and when Celtic maybe drop points, it's...
Do you always go like that until you blow your whistle?
Go right for it.
Relentless.
Simon, aye. Move on for me, Simon.
But Kev, the delivery foot wide wasn't great, but then the one piece of quality for Barisic.
The thing is, I think if you make teams defend, eventually they're going to get mistakes are going to be made, and ultimately Rangers, Tavernier's delivery is brilliant. Barisic is on a different level for me personally. If he's putting them, if you're a striker and you're getting that amount of crosses in per game, I don't know how many the stats were in terms of crossing into the box. Eventually one's going to fall to somebody and they've got to take it, and fortunately for Rangers, it fell it on, and it was a great header. People say offside, close, but we don't have VAR, so we just got to deal with that. Rangers, you make your own luck sometimes. Great cross, great header, 1-1, and again, there was another cross late on with Defoe. What a touch, by the way. Touch and turn.
JD.
Mate, fucking JD, brilliant. And the only surprising thing was it didn't hit the back of the net. But again, Celtic drawing on Saturday, Rangers going to Motherwell, wouldn't be looking for a point, they'd be looking to win the game, but knowing that if we get a draw, it's comfortable, and I think in terms of league going forward, it is over, and Rangers, I don't think they'll be too disappointed with that.
Why do you think, Si, that maybe the last month or so Rangers haven't been at their best?
Everyone has a dip, mate. I think you can play well the whole season. I think it's when Celtic have had their dip, they've not won games or drawn games, they've drawn, but Rangers are still, even a dip, you say they're not playing well, but they're still getting a lot of chances. It's not like there's...
And it's no exception. There's been games where they've not really had to get out a second or third gear as well, so it's like... You judge a game as if they never played that great, but they never really had to anyway.
I also think Davis is having to play a lot of games. You can see that.
I thought Davis was
really good.
Probably Rangers' best player again at the weekend.
But a couple of weeks before second half, I think his legs have, because he's played a lot of football. 36 exactly.
I don't think he wouldn't have played anywhere near the amount of games he has recently if Jack
had been fit. That's what I mean.
I think Ryan Jackson back now, so probably give Dave a wee bit more of a chance to get rested a bit. But see for Motherwell, fair play to them. Obviously they got a point and defended well, but it's so hard to concentrate for that period of time. Like you try and defend for that long, you try to defend, like you said, 20 cross balls. It only needs one lapse of concentration and one bit of quality.
It was strange that that's the way they wanted. It's like they wanted Rangers to go wide and cross the ball when you think
they actually set up like they were that compact. They were just saying right, go get it wide and cross the ball. But that's where Rangers 90% of their goals come for the fullbacks. But I've heard a lot of good things about Graham Alexander.
Have you?
I've heard he's really good.
What did you say?
I'm not going to say my sources.
Did you say he played open football? No?
I think Salford did. Derek says his team's like the sitting, but I've seen his Salford team play quite a bit, and
they played
I thought like to press high at the pitch.
I thought I always felt when he was as a player, he was very forward thinking. I didn't think he was ever one of these negative type of players. Like he wanted to play proper football, and I can't see why you would get into management and decide to revert back to something negative. I think that
I played against his Fleetwood team, Kevin. You're right. They
decent,
played good football, and attacking teams.
But I think he will. I think he will eventually have Motherwell playing a certain style of football. Like you say, they did it at Salford, and he's done it previously. So
that's a chance being a good manager. When you play against a different team, you can change your style. With Rangers, maybe more deeper or whatever. So
and they got a point, which only two other teams in the league have done all season. So
and they worked their boys off the Motherwell players. Didn't they? Even do you know what my only thing? See if I'm winning 1-0, I would never make a sub, unless somebody's completely.
But
I
surely
thought Tony Watt was doing really well
So did I.
to Tavernier, and then when it came, I thought it kind of went when he made
I
the
would
two
maybe have
subs.
brought the boys Seedorf half, kept Tony Watt and brought Lawless on just to play behind him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than change it to, I thought Tony Watt was actually one of the best players for Motherwell. So, I wouldn't have made the changes.
What, they've made some good... What about the goalie for Motherwell?
Oh,
2
what
weeks
a
ago?
signing.
No, 2 weeks ago though.
Oh, against Hamilton.
That's one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've ever seen.
Aye.
But then Liam Kelly,
You
they
know
made a
what-
couple of
you
good
know him?
signings. Who? Liam Kelly, aye. Good boy, good goalie. Done really well when he went to Livy, obviously. I think he was number 1 at QPR for a good
Yeah,
bit
he
of
was.
time. But then he's not
goal as well.
played.
Messaged a couple of times.
Great boy.
Aye, he is.
Lovely boy.
Top man.
Two centre halves were good. Gallagher and McGabby were good, I thought.
See what I like about Declan Gallagher, right? There's no nonsense there. It's head it, kick it, clear it, defend, get the team up, organised. And sometimes there's only so many times he can head everything away, and that's that ball over Barnes that's just come over his head, and the fullbacks fail to tuck in and pick up Eton. But no, I quite like Declan Gallagher. Motherwell would do well to keep a hold of him, I think, this summer.
But I thought Rangers, see the second half, they put more bodies in the box.
Aye.
See the first half when the ball was going in, it was only Morelos and
Yeah.
the opposite wide player that were getting in the box, whereas second half, Tavernier was coming at the back post, Aribo was in the box as well, and it made it harder for Motherwell.
Kent's not the same player, don't I? I used to, honestly, like, at the start
He's
of the
another
season...
one, he's
So
played
they're different.
basically every single game, isn't he?
I suppose that's aye.
Do you know what I mean? So
He
he will
used,
have
to,
to be that.
he used to scale at life. I mean, at the moment he's just lacking that bit. Maybe that's it, Simon. Maybe he's played too many games.
I think that must be hard for a manager though, when you know somebody's that talented and he's not really playing that well, but you're like, he's that good, like, I need to play him and just hope he gets back to form. So
The thing is, he's not playing, and he's not playing bad. He's just not playing to the standards
They
that we all
especially
expect
at
him
the
to
start of
play.
season.
Aye, and I think that's why we're not talking about
I
him.
think the boys
because-
that behind him as well, it's like Jordan Jones is
Yeah,
out
no,
of favour,
yeah,
Greg
yeah,
Stewart's sort of out of favour,
Aye.
Glenn Middleton's out of favour, so it's not really as if he's got somebody absolutely battering the door down when he's coming on. He's flying, playing well to overtake
Can
him
I
in the
ask,
team.
boys, see if you're the... what was the Motherwell manager just left?
Stephen Robinson.
Do you think he's sitting there raging yesterday, that performance, the amount of effort they put in?
Aye.
But then,
No, it's not even that, it's the fact that, like, see if you get dropped in a game and somebody's playing in front of you, how much you want the team to win, but they have to have an absolute
That's
beast.
shocking.
So
I agree. I
Robinson's
actually
doing
want
that,
to
isn't he?
all but. I do, mate.
Just when I was watching the show last week, I was like, I hope this is shit.
I do, mate. I love that.
Slaney, you talked about the pitch. It's mad. You said it was your pitch. It is actually starting to look like you, the pitch.
You bastard.
I knew that was coming.
Mate, I hadn't seen all the holes yesterday. I'm like, he's going to say something holes. I knew it. You bastard.
Holes and bumps
I can't
everywhere,
believe
man.
that. I can't believe you put a piece of the turf on your head. What's happening?
By the way, the pitch was flying. It was up there with the
No, I
Diageo,
told
the
you.
pitch.
I told you.
Aye.
Simon, I'll dig holes in it. It's my pitch, and if you're not going to give me it back, then I'll start to disrupt it. But listen, Wee Lawless is in, and I've told him I'll let the pitch
The
stay.
baby.
The wee baby. I'm so happy for him that he's get back because
Even when he
obviously-
came on the ball, mate, he was so
Simon, he went
composed.
down south and it didn't work out. Obviously, the pantomimes were fucked, Si. Do you know what I mean? He Jimmy Cranky, it didn't work for him. And good on him, he's a fantastic signing. Now, this is a brilliant bit here I'm going to say, and ask you for a question here. When I played with Lawless, right, coming through, we grew up together. Did I like his family? They were all right, Simon, right? But I don't know why I've said that, I didn't mean that. But we used three, right? See with Lawless, he was my favourite player to play with, right? Like, he's just one of the guys, you knew where he was all the time. And whenever I would make a run, he would find me. And it always made me play better. So what I'm going to ask you three now is, did you ever have a player like that in your team? That it might have not been the best player in the team, but it was your favourite player to play with?
Wow.
If you've got anybody that... When you
Just before we answer it, have you ever went down south and it's not worked out?
Aye. Yep, Simon. A lot.
Right, have you got one?
Probably Ryan Kent last year, to be fair, but it was just because he was so easy to play with. He was
What,
that
you
quick,
just passing the
tricky.
ball?
If
You'd always run round him and he'd just cut inside it.
Aye, all the time. But even that as well, if it was in tight areas and you gave him it, you know he's not going to get away. But he was a type of player that, don't know, I've always been somebody that likes to, I wasn't really, when I played fullback, I wasn't really somebody going out and cross it in the box. I was more looking for passes, 1-2s, and that's something that suits him, so he's probably mine. Who was yours?
I'd probably say
Lawless.
Marcus Stewart, because when
Oh, Marcus Stewart, what a player.
he was brilliant.
He's at Exeter when I
He
was
was just
doing
one of the
what a player.
guys that, like, he knew what I was all about. So whenever if I was holding the ball, he would be round the front of me, and I would see him. Whereas if I was going to flick it on, he would be gambling. So he would make my flick ons look as if they were fucking mint.
Yeah.
So for me, it would be him, but that's probably down to more his ability in here, but his experience, because he maybe would say the same about me maybe the odd time, saying, oh, I like playing with him because we work well together, but he was just makes your job a wee bit easier. What about you, Si?
Reserves, Paddy I'd play centre mid and Paddy'd play in the hole, I'd just pass him the ball all the time. As soon as I got it, look for Paddy. And then at Swindon, Matt Ritchie and Paul Caddis, they played right mid, right back, I played right centre mid.
I thought you would have said Charlie Austin, because I know you looked at midfield, touch, round the corner, spin.
He wasn't good at that.
No, he wasn't.
He just wanted the ball wide and in the box, mate. So be the guy Billy Painter that was more good at flicking the ball in the corner. Big Bill would get a hold of it.
Oh man,
what a guy! But Matt Ritchie and Cads, they two were top.
He's mad Billy Painter as well, isn't he?
Off, he's not, mate, honestly.
He was in Ibiza with us once and he just went about just rugby tackling randoms.
Random, he does it all the time. He bombs through chairs and tables on nights. He's 6'2". Must be.
That's what I was going to say. If somebody does that, you're expecting him to get a doing, but he was that big, 6'2", massive. Nobody's touching him.
Nah, he was some man.
Was he that big, aye?
He's
a monster.
Big wide boy as well.
Scored a lot of
I
goals.
get cracked in my Ibiza, man.
Did you?
An English guy cracked me for no reason.
What'd you do?
This outfit, I love that. I love the hat. It looks like Gucci. I said that to you.
Nice.
Is it, bro?
I tell you what, the necklace, talking about Jig's teeth, man, I'm like, nah, that's blingy, mate.
What is that?
23 MG.
23 carat.
Aye. I actually feel nervous to be honest. I'm the place push you in.
Right, what have we got here? Right, Celtic v Livingston. Kev, I'll ask you first because the gap's now wider than your waist. Drop more points. How the Dubai trips us now looks like a nightmare after the performances against Hibs and Livingston.
It's just been a disaster, Si. There's nothing like losing that amount of players. You're being asked to bring in young players to fill roles. So they brought in a couple of young players midweek against Hibs. They were all right. They tried their best, but they put Rogic up this weekend as a striker who couldn't even do the basics of football, as in hold the ball up, lay it off, maybe even try and make a run. The defence looked. See Shane Duffy, right? I don't like saying this. I'm just going to say it. I think they're better off just going. It's like I just do it for yourself. If anything else, like try and I just don't know. The confidence just is zapped out of Celtic now. I feel like they've accepted it's over, and that's a.
I agree.
Like I feel like they've accepted it's over with, and I said last week, and I've been saying for a few weeks now, it is over with. But when you're in a team, you have to keep believing and keep trying and keep working hard, keep trying to do the basics, encourage the people to run about you. I just don't see that anymore.
When you're not doing well, mate, you do the basics.
You do the Simon.
Celtic can't even do
Simon, we've all played football. Used to, still playing football. When you're in a fucking stinker, you always say to yourself, I do what I did when I played, right, when the ball comes up, just hold it in, lay it off. Keep doing the basic things, then you'll get a wee bit of confidence and the better things will start to happen. They're not even doing the basic things right. And I think it's disrespectful to the football club and it's disrespectful to the fans, I think.
See for me, I know, right, I think as a football player, you should be judged the most when the team's struggling. Yeah. And your backs are against the wall. And that's why I think David Turnbull for me has been an absolute revelation. See the Hibs game? There was periods in the game where David Turnbull wasn't great, but he was just constantly demanding the ball, constantly trying to make a difference in the game. See when Celtic are winning 9 in a row and you're beating teams 3-4-0 and you're swanning about and everybody, generally, like anybody could play in that. Anybody can play in that. You're beating people 4-0 and 5-0 and keeping the ball and whatnot. But it's when you're trying to get a goal and you're 3, 4, 5 games, obviously, where I win and try to dig your team back into it. That's why I think David Turnbull for me has been. I've actually been shocked, to be honest, at how good he's been. Yeah, I really have. I always knew he was a good player at Motherwell, but
he's the one guy when I watched the game Saturday, I think, like, he actually wants the ball, man. He wants to do something in the game. He wants to run about. But you look at a guy like Rogic, as you say, and people say, oh, he's not centre forward. But so what? Scott Robinson plays up front for Livingston on a grand a week and he works his balls off.
Simon, you're playing with Peterhead.
He was a centre midfielder, Scott Robinson, for his 4 years ago.
Simon, you're playing with Peterhead most weeks, centre midfield. You've been asked to do a job at centre half. You've been doing an alright job in there. Yeah, because you're asked to do a job, you're going to try and do what's best for your team. I feel like Tom Rogic it's as if it's been a punishment to stick him up front. Oh fuck, I'm playing up front today. Fuck it. Oh, right, I don't really know how to play that position. Well, if you don't, let's try and think of when you've watched games of football, how does a striker just be a pivot, just be that focal point where the team can get the ball up to you, they can get up the park, and we can maybe make things work. Just didn't look interested as if it was. And then young guys like Mikey Johnson coming in, and the other boy, what's that young boy that came on again?
Flex.
The kids are coming in to try and learn from the more experienced ones, and that's where you come in there and an experienced player will say, right, come on, do this, try and help them. I don't think even the young kids are getting the help from them because it's so deflating to watch. Like, would you want to be playing in that Celtic team right now? I don't think there's any benefit to it.
Did anything get said about him wearing the AirPods on the bench?
Nah, we spoke about it.
I know, but did anything get said?
No.
It was Lenny.
It was Lenny in his ear before he went on.
Was it actually?
Aye.
Or did you think it was music?
I didn't know what it was, but it looked
Mate,
horrendous.
Dembele
It was just one of the things that just
Dembele
looked
had a
so
phone?
bad.
When?
On that game, he was on the phone.
To who? The manager?
Aye.
Was he right?
It looked awful.
Aye.
Yeah, honestly.
But Slaney as well, for me, Livingston looked better set up, worked harder, made better decisions. That shouldn't be happening. See these excuses players are missing, that's 11 first team players.
Aye.
Guys that train the first team every day.
Man City, they don't play with a striker. You know what I mean? De Bruyne, I think, plays up front. And I'm not joking, it might have been before the first Old Firm. We've been saying the exact same thing about Celtic every week since that first Old Firm. The exact same thing, Simon. About they don't look if they want to run. They look lacklustre.
Lack.
I can't say it anymore, Simon. There's no words now to say.
But that's the thing though, you see like the chairman and the board and the manager's taking a lot of stick, but the players need. Who's been up to scratch for Celtic this year?
Turnbull, only one.
But what's that been in an 8 week
That's in a short
over a
period
course
of
of that
time.
season?
There's not one player in that team, like, you're expecting a wee bit more from Callum McGregor. Like, Scott Brown's not there to be the leader in the park. You be the guy that gets the team going. I just think to see a wee bit more from everybody. I don't know what it is. Laxalt's come in from AC Milan and got off to a decent enough start. But now you've got guys toe poking the ball around and running around the other side and putting crosses at the box. That shouldn't be happening from a, like, I just don't, it just seems to be that they played well against Rangers, looked great, everybody's there, and then they went on this fucking stupid break to Dubai. They've came back, they've drew against Hibs, and then basically they've said, right, that's it, we've accepted, that's a fucking league over with.
What is it?
And
6 out of 20 or something fun?
6 out of 20.
Seen that
But see, even if you are going to play with a centre forward who's not a centre forward, just dominate the ball in the middle of the pitch.
just
You've
keep
got
the
an extra
ball.
man in there. Like, Celtic couldn't have stringed 3 passes together in the first half.
terrible.
I've not even watched it.
No,
I watched
they
the
were bad.
highlights. And
See throw-ins,
could have
right?
won
See if my team in League One get a throw-in and they just fling the ball down the line. I go off my nut at that. Somebody be brave and bounce the ball back to the guy. Celtic got all they were doing was just lobbing it up the line, like a lower league team. You need to be braver in that to play for
Celtic
Celtic.
to me looked like a Livingston of old, the way they played. Like as if they were just happy to try and get a draw at the game. It's like Livingston went there looking to win the game and probably should have won the game with the chances that they had. But I don't know, like they've got Livingston again midweek, they're going to have X amounts of players back, but they players I would imagine probably haven't trained or up to the
hard
level.
place to go as well.
See another thing, right? I want to ask you is when you're on the pitch, because Celtic played right, and you watched Livingston the last 5 games, they press high up the pitch. Celtic started trying to play the ball for the back. Livingston kept pressing them high up the pitch, taking the ball off and putting crosses into the box.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? Is that a manager's fault or a player's fault? Because if I'm on a pitch and I can see that they keep taking the ball, so I'm going to say to Mikey Johnson and Frimpong, run him behind them for 5-10 minutes and we'll put the ball in behind them.
Aye.
They just
Doesn't
kept
seem like
doing
that
the exact same thing.
Aye.
It doesn't seem if anybody's doing that in the pitch, but players are talking up on them.
It's just a bit of
But you're right there, side.
You're
You're right. Like if you're in a game and you're playing in a game, and you as a footballer, you see things that the manager maybe can't change because he can't get the message
Well, especially
across.
because if he's not
right,
there.
Aye, right, you're in there. Things like the playing at the back. Just go long if that's what you need to do, and then get your captain or whoever it is to organise and say, right, we're going to go long for the next 10 minutes. Let's
Get in their
concentrate and
half.
get the second balls. Let's get up. Once we start doing that, Livingston might drop back a bit.
Yeah.
Then we'll start to play football. But there's nobody on the park recognising that and trying to change it. It's just to say, this is what we've been told to do, so this is what we're going to continue to do, even though we know it's not working. Somebody grab the fucking bull by the horns, surely. But fair play to Livingston. Great run.
Livingston were great.
Great
Livingston were
run.
really good.
Superb.
I took a bit of stick for saying that Rangers will win the league at the start of the year, but I could never ever have predicted it'd be like this. That it'd be 21 points
it'd be so
in
easy.
January. Aye, and just
Why is that? I don't get it.
But even see pressing off the ball. Tell me what Celtic's game plan is off the ball. What do they do? How do they press the opposition?
I don't know. I don't think they do, mate.
When I say I've watched enough either, but
What you highlight Saturday, Livingston? How did they press? I couldn't tell you either. I don't know whether they press high or whether they back off and let teams play. But I couldn't tell you.
The only game I've seen it this season where I've hit
Rangers,
well coached was Rangers. We're
They press
pressing
high
as a team.
But Saturday, didn't I? Why not? You're Celtic. See, if I'm playing Celtic, the last thing I want them to do is press me high up the pitch and put me under pressure when the ball. Livingston have got time to take the ball out, pass the ball wide, put the ball over the top. Why? I don't get
We've all played against Celtic at some point in our careers, and every time you go to either Parkhead or whether it be your own ground, they fucking hound you. And the
Rangers the same
play
way when you got
when you play the Old Firm, they come and get the ball off of you, and you're like, fucking shit.
Shitting yourself.
You're like, oh my God, you need to hear the touches right.
Yeah.
Your pass needs to be right. You need to move quicker. Everybody needs to do it at the tempo that they're doing it at. Celtic's like, whoa, it's miles off it just now. Like you would fancy going there with a decent team and beating that Celtic team.
thing is as well, we've still got. I played against
you've got
them a month
experience of the cup
ago. We've
final.
still got very good players as well. It's just should never even get to the situation that they're in now. But it's like you said, it's a combination of a few things, but ultimately the players haven't lived up to the standards that they've set.
I agree.
That's it, aye. It's down to the
Even
players.
like the ball, the goalie's kicking the ball long and Duffy's ducking. The ball's there, you're a centre, head the ball up the pitch, he ducks.
He does. He looks as if he's got no confidence whatsoever.
Aye,
Like
totally
nothing. See, obviously I wasn't on for the last Old Firm game, but the Old Firm game when he was on for about 2 minutes and the ball just dropped him, and he tried to flick it away with outside his foot, and it was just like he just looks as if he's got no confidence.
But again,
at
Andy,
all.
see if you're a centre midfielder, if I'm a centre midfielder and my centre half's playing like that, I'm going to get the ball from him and say, just you pass the ball to me 5 yards and that's you done, now defend. I didn't even see that. See, when he gets the ball, I never see anybody go breaking the neck like, yeah, give me the ball. Play for Celtic, man.
They've obviously, I don't think players want to be there. They must know. You can't.
I don't think it's Slaney that it's the players that don't want to be there. I think what you found with Celtic is this is the first time in 9 years where they've had this scrutiny and this pressure. So this is the first time for me watching it is they've had to deal with this, and I don't think some of them are handling it very well.
I agree.
Whereas flip that to Rangers last Christmas, flying to the point, and it crumbled a wee bit. We all agree with that. Rangers fans, manager, they all agree with that, right? The pressure was immense. They had fans in the stadium, didn't deal with it. This season, they've learned from that mistake and they've corrected their wrongs, and now they're doing all the rights. Whereas Celtic, it's the first time they've experienced this, and I don't think they're coping with it very well. And I think if it was fans in the stadium, it would be a million times worse than what it is now.
I said that the other day. I said, like, there's been a lot of things I've heard people say, like, obviously it's different because there's no fans in the stadium. Celtic players will be feeling more pressure than now than they've ever felt, even though there's no fans in the stadium.
Yep.
And if there was fans in the stadium, the place wouldn't be happy.
You know when you make a mistake in a big game and you hear them when you a boo or a fucking hell Ferry, what was that, whatever it is, you think, oh shit, right, I'll not do that again. Right? You imagine if there was a 60,000 fans in at Parkhead and Shane Duffy's fucking doing what he's doing.
But that's why I
But
think
then your concentration level's better because of the fans are there.
No, but that's where no, 100%.
Yeah.
I even think playing in front of, if Alloa was full at the weekend, there'd been about 800 people. I still think if there was fans there, it would give me 10% more.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is, if you're at a big club like Celtic and you're a big player, which these players have been, to be fair, that's just where you need to be stand up and be counted.
Yep.
Now, we've had arguments, obviously, about Pogba and all that before. One thing I'll never ever slag Pogba for is his willingness to go on the ball under pressure. Never.
Yeah, I agree.
But even though he takes stick all the time, but he doesn't really work hard and he gives it away, he'll always try and make a difference. He'll always want
That's
the
what the
ball.
top players do.
That's what I was going to say. The top players, the ones that I've encountered in my time, no matter how shit the team's playing or how bad you feel yourself, the top players take the fucking ball. Kev Phillips, give me the ball. Clyde Arena, give me the ball. Don Hutchison, didn't matter how bad or what stick, give me the ball. And I used to think, how are they able to keep taking that ball all the time? Because they believe in themselves, their confidence is oozing regardless of what's the surroundings. Whereas at this moment in time, I just think that Celtic, they're lacking in maybe leadership on the part first and foremost, and a big massive dent to everybody's confidence.
It's mental because these guys have won so much.
That's what I was
that's the thing. But
right. It's the fact that like 80% of that squad's been here over the last few years when they've played so well and won so much, but that many out of form at the same time. You're no.
I'm surprised there wasn't a change of manager.
But see with the manager thing, right? Here's my question for you. Because you can blame the manager as well, right? But Rangers under the same manager the end of last season were hopeless. So is it the manager that's got better, or is it the players?
Neil Lennon's been a successful manager in the past for Celtic.
That's what I'm saying. So
don't get me wrong, there is an element where sometimes change is needed to get the best out of players, but it's different if there's X amount of players performing but they're not getting results, and there's maybe decisions that you can question that he's made. But I could show you 30 Celtic goals where it's been individual mistakes. And listen, I'm not saying Neil Lennon deserves no blame. I'm not saying the players deserve all the blame. It's a combination of everything. But I've definitely seen more Neil Lennon stick than anything. Like he's carrying the can more than.
But Andy, there's no once a Celtic teams came in this year and I thought, what's Lenny thinking there? Every time a team's came out, I thought, I could see what he's.
They just don't deliver what's he's hoping they're going to deliver.
And he's actually picked a team the last obviously not the last couple of games because of the COVID situation, but the 2-3 games prior to that, he picked a team that the fans were sort of asking for. And again, there wasn't really.
I think
still lost.
I don't think he was getting this season. Listen, he won the treble obviously last season, but certainly this season he's getting nothing out of the players, and you can't change every single player during the season. Paul. So I get the players have to do better, but I think after the game they get beat with Sparkafag, whatever. I can't remember the name.
Sparkafag.
When they get beat with them 8-2, I think there certainly had to be a change. You think you're looking at Ross County now. You see a change of manager, it's a fresh thing for the players. And the reason I think, it's not just, Neil Lennon was coming out with a lot of interviews and it bizarred me at the start of the season. I was completely wild. He's coming out saying players don't want to be here. The next day, he comes out and says, I want to be here. So if I'm a player, right, and I go in and say, he's now told all the fans that I want to be away now. He didn't individually say them, but if there's been things in the paper, he came out and said that and he went, well, I'm going to sort it. So he's made this telling, I'm going to get these players out. Then you're stuck with all the players. So it's unhappiness. And I think the run, I've never seen a run like this in my life for Celtic at any season. You can't get rid of every single player, so there had to be a change. Who's the change? I don't know. A lot of talk about Edward Howe, Simon.
Mr. Edward Howe.
Which I think these current players would probably respond to him similar type. I wouldn't say, listen, he's similar style to Rodgers. He's no anywhere near Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers was a Liverpool manager before he came to Celtic, so you can't compare Eddie Howe. But I think these players would maybe respond to a guy like that. Who knows? But certainly to go on this run and nothing be changed.
That would be my one criticism of the coaching is off the ball this year they've been all over the place. That comes for you know you've done it with Michael Beale. It comes for us on the training ground being that well drilled. You look at Rangers off the ball compared to Celtic this year. Celtic have actually been good off the ball since Sorrow and Turnbull. They went to the Diamond. I think they were better at pressing teams, but other than that wee period,
Sorrow and Turnbull for me, they've made a difference because they're sitting on the sidelines watching what's in front of them. And they're thinking, right, for me to be in this team week in, week out, I just need to get in there and work really, really hard, do the simple things right, and I'll keep my place. And that's what they've done. They've come in and Sorrow's worked his fucking nuts off and being the holding midfielder, more so than some before him. And Turnbull's come in and thought, right, I'll be that guy that try and let Sorrow do that work, I'll get the ball and try and dictate the play. They've done nothing like, I would say, extravagant or anything amazing. They've just done things better than the guys before them, and that's why they've stood it.
Okay, Livy again on Wednesday. It'll be a different game. Away to Livingston this time, won't it?
It's not
this is one where you will need to show a bit of character.
So I think, I'm just guessing here, but I think Celtic's record against Livingston over the last sort of 2-3 seasons has probably been Celtic's bogey team in it. And Livy, it's not an easy place to go, obviously straight away with the Astro anyway. It sort of makes it more a level playing field, but Livy are flying, you know what I mean? We spoke about their Celtic's struggles in that, but Livy, is that 8 unbeaten or something like 9 unbeaten?
1-7,
unbelievable.
Something like that.
So credit to them, and listen, they will 100% they will fancy their chances against Celtic on Wednesday.
Martindale's good, isn't he?
Brilliant.
Just tells it like it is, keeps it simple, full enthusiasm. See when you watch the game on the side, screaming on the side of the pitch.
He might have a lot about him, Simon, I know.
Yeah.
Fair.
I could see you and him hanging about together in that flat.
I don't know. He's really tough. He's got a nasty side to him, I think, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean? That fear factor.
What if he paid half of the 5G? Would you let him take the spare room?
It would help me. It would help me get back.
Anyone else you would like to take, or would you? Why don't you put a wee play out for somebody to take that?
I might just have it myself because I can't wait. Right,
you're going to get like your decks and that and other.
Oh, unreal. So I've drew it out. I've got a notepad, right, and I've drew it all out. So I've done a cross each room in the square boxes. But I'm going to have every room, no mental, but a wee bit, so I'm not like a games room with like mental lights and all that. And I'm going to keep the lights on through the whole night.
Why?
I don't know, I hate seeing the lights on.
You want it to be like a party house?
I feel down when all the lights go at night.
Many rooms it go?
2 bedroom. So if you ever want to come up with it, and if you know any birthday sound up, then sound in my way.
Is there anyone that's banned for coming?
Jack?
We still for the whole game?
No, Laura's man,
Jack Fincham.
No, I'll bring him up.
Aye.
And see what I'll date him, and then listen, I've got a number of people on our list who will be up, Andrew. It'll be a celebrity flat. It will, Simon. It'll be a
hub.
Forget it. A lot of people I've known all my life. You'll not be anywhere near it. Forget it. You know what I mean? I don't want you anywhere near it. It'll be a hub.
I think the open goal should get the cameras in and do like a 24-hour follow.
Great shout,
Paul Slane, that would be...
Well, that would be very dangerous. That could turn into something very quickly. Cameras in.
Who's going to clean the flat? You're not. You.
I clean
yourself.
See, when I was doing MK Dons, this is terrible, right, mate? And it's pure slob behaviour, and I can't believe it. But I'll just tell it. When I was doing MK Dons, I used to put my plates in the bin after I ate them.
Did you?
So I didn't clean them. Just put them in the bin. How bad is that, mate? That's so slobby. But I was young. Listen,
Where did you share a flat with? Just yourself?
Just myself, young, dumb.
Dumb. Fella.
But no. Listen, I'm a new character now, and I'm in talks now with somebody. I'm just about to purchase. Just as soon as the flat goes, bonkers.
The dog.
A box. I'm going to get a boxer.
to
So I'll have that and a dog with me, and because mate, I've been watching recently. See that LA stalker thing?
Oh, Cavani, Edison Cavani, the Night Stalker.
Have you seen that?
Looks like him, doesn't it?
Have you seen that?
What's it called?
The Night Stalker. Brilliant, mate. On Netflix.
What, a TV show?
It's real story. It's absolutely.
It's documentary, I think.
Is
it good?
Frightening.
Do you know what else is brilliant? It's on Netflix, Operation Odessa. Have you seen that?
Nah, what's that?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Seen that?
What's that?
Basically, it's like a Russian gangster, and he moves to New York, and he gets in with the Gambino crime family, and he's a hitman for them. But then the Gambino family kill his partner, so he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out here." So he goes to Miami and starts up his own shop. He opens a strip club, and basically it was at the period of time where obviously cocaine was massive, and all the South Americans that crossed the border towards Miami, Russians were coming over, so he ended up getting in with a lot of people. And he just started this mad... Honestly, I don't want to say too much that...
I was just about to say that, I'm not need to fucking watch it.
I don't want to... No, trust me, there's stuff that I've not mentioned that it would blow your mind, so watch it, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for us, Kev? Question of sports?
No, the wife's been watching The Handmaid's Tale.
My missus loves that.
Mate, my wife loves it. I want to be a handmaid. I don't want to be a handmaid. I want to be a commander. When you watch it, the people out there that's listening to the show, they'll understand.
Did you watch it, aye?
I watched it.
I watched about 10 minutes.
I know,
no way I could watch
it's hard viewing, but my...
Do you know, is it raunchy?
Is
it raunchy?
It's just a pure...
No, it's what happens is something happens in America where this group of people decide that women are no longer maybe part of society, whatever, so they make them like no slaves as such, but they get them doing things, and the fertility rate comes down in America, so they end up making their own wee town, and it's fucking feels like now, like the COVID world.
Do you know what we all need to go into a programme? See the one with that guy, the army guy. What's his name?
Oh,
SAS.
Gary Tank Commander.
SAS. We need to go into all that as for. Imagine that.
I don't know.
One-off special.
I love that show.
That's a class show.
See if you shouted at me, mate, honestly. The new show.
Right, done.
No?
If you could be in one show, what would it be?
If I could be in one show,
Aye.
Sopranos, isn't it?
Sopranos?
Oh, aye.
Andy,
No,
you said-
Entourage.
Entourage, yeah.
I'd love to be fucking Ari Gold for the day.
Ari Gold's a man.
Johnny Drama's
Johnny Davies Caps.
Johnny Drama. Johnny Drama.
I love you, Lloyd.
Lloyd's a man, isn't he?
Oh, that hero.
See, right,
Here's a scene, right? First to get it, I'll give him a tenner.
Right, go.
You think I'm a funny guy?
Goodfellas.
Oh, so it's Joe Pesci at the bar, innit?
How good's that scene?
Brilliant.
And the guy shouts.
was sharp.
How quick was that for you?
Give us another wee bit of acting, because that was good.
I'll do a scene every week. I'll bring a few next week. That was the only one I came up with.
Aberdeen. Kev, what do you make of the banner? Appeared outside Pittodrie.
Fucking disgrace.
Derek McInnes out.
Derek McInnes,
No, wait, let's
seriously, who's going to come into Aberdeen and do a better job than what Derek McInnes has done for the last X minutes? We talked about it maybe about a year or so ago and asked the question, like, what does Derek McInnes get out of the Aberdeen thing? Does he know what to go maybe try something else at some point? But they're just, you said it, Si, they've sold their
McKenna, $5
best
million.
defender. One of Hedges is injured. The boy up front,
Wright's going to Aberdeen,
possibly going to
Rangers.
Rangers. See, defensively, they've been shocking for weeks.
But that's because of no pace at the back. McKenna's
Mate,
left.
honestly, they're no, and that's where, for me, it's January. Why don't they go and make a bid for somebody? Try and
No money.
no money.
Nothing.
Nah.
No, is it that bad?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that puts that fucking
But
argument there.
that's a sign of a good manager. McKenna, they played in a 4, right? McKenna went no pace, so he thought, if no pace, I need to go to a 3.
What
That's
is he-
good management, man.
What is he expecting?
You're saying this year though, like they've basically lost their best player every year for the last
Yeah.
5 years.
Hands on,
and,
aye.
and when he does get money, he replaces them with players that come in and do well. So,
But they're still
that
sitting-
banner's wild. I'd
They've
love
got
to
a
know who put that up.
couple of games in hand that will put them into third if they beat the teams. And so where
But
are
that's the
they?
thing, everyone says Jack Ross has done this great job, but Derek McInnes is still ahead of him.
And doing it every single year.
And doing it every year.
Every
Has
year.
done it every
He's
year.
put-
A few cup finals and all over the last few years, but aye, idiot that put that banner
I don't know
up
what they're
anyway.
expecting, honestly. He's a
That
real good
wouldn't
manager.
be that banner wouldn't be an opinion I would say of the majority of Aberdeen fans. I think there obviously is a minority that's
But I do
not
think
happy.
a lot. I think I do. Since I've come on the show, it does seem a hell of a lot of them don't like him.
No, I don't think
It's
they do like
weird.
him.
I don't know.
But then you've got to remember Aberdeen does have a big fan base in terms
Oh, it's a massive club,
massive
aye.
club. But
when
I
you
don't think they're happy with the style of football, but I think,
Aye.
I think their style of football has improved this year.
You need to be
With
careful.
Hedges and Wright being in
I
the
think
team.
Hedges, I think
I think
he's
they're playing
brilliant.
there now with
And
Hedges
see
in
the
the
boy
team.
Wright, obviously, having watched him in the Rangers game the other week, brilliant. And even some of his touches at the weekend, very, very clever footballer. I can see why Rangers are interested in him, but you can't keep selling your best players all the time and then expecting to compete.
Aye.
They've not got a budget to compete.
But the thing
with
is-
Celtic and Rangers, so I don't know what they're expecting.
Aye, exactly. In their budget of teams that they're playing against, so you're
He's brilliant. I like Derek.
Hibs and Motherwell and teams that are Aberdeen are sitting top of that pile. So what's the issue here? They can't compete with Celtic and Rangers, even as bad. Well, maybe this year they probably could have been closer to Celtic.
Aye.
But
I would love to know the reasons why they want him out.
Aye.
Because there's no valid one.
No.
There's no.
Even Cosgrove wants to leave, doesn't he? Like, he's been linked to other teams. He's faded down south. He'll want to go, won't he?
yeah,
It's tough for a manager when you've got players who
Is
are looking
it
to leave.
down to the style? Is that?
I think so. I think that's what you hear. Isn't it? They're
So
not happy
what
with the
are you
style of play.
expecting a team that's got a tenth of the Celtic Rangers budget to go to Ibrox and Parkhead and try and pass it out for the back and beat Rangers 3-4-0 or Celtic 3-4-0? And what they
I think
expect?
Derek McInnes might be a victim of his own success.
Good point, Kevin.
Because in the past, when he's got his teams to finals and seconds and what have you in cups, they have played quite well. You would always fancy when any team that went to Pittodrie or Celtic and Rangers, they would struggle. Whereas I think now Celtic and Rangers are going there quite well. Apart from Celtic, it's quite comfortable, and I think that's where maybe a problem lies. So they aren't quite at the levels maybe a few seasons ago, but they're still at levels that are better than everybody else. I just find it a bit bizarre. But again,
Have you ever met him, Kev?
Derek McInnes, met
great
him
guy,
with Zara
isn't
one day.
Where?
Zara.
Zara, did you?
I
Right?
also that type, didn't he?
He's a Zara type.
He's a Zara type.
I think he dips in and out of Zara, but he'll also go big brands at times.
Aye, 100%.
Definitely.
He likes a wee tight
Reece,
polo
no,
neck.
cut finals and that.
Wee tight polo
He'll be
neck.
bossed up in that, wouldn't you?
Pair of wee 32 waist trousers tight. No fitting him, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Aye.
Good
Wee trim
football
with the
guy.
beard. Likes that grey bit in it.
Aye, sexy.
I
The
would
thing is,
just-
see if Derek McInnes left Aberdeen, any other team in Scotland would take him in a minute,
Yes.
wouldn't
Aye, they would die.
they? Yogi again.
Brilliant.
What a man. What a guy. Ross County, they'll finish comfortable 7th, I'm going to say. There you go. Best of the rest.
I watched the highlights against Hibs 2-3 weeks ago as well. Some of the stuff though. I really like the boy Peyton.
Mate, Peyton's very good.
Good
Playing
player.
against him at Steny, very
Aye,
good.
good
Yogi
player.
type of player, mate.
Aye,
Technically
I
good.
think he actually came for Hearts. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, he did. Canadian,
Aye.
you're right.
And I watched the highlights of that Hibs game after, and straight away I was thinking, I actually thought he'd done really well against Celtic at Parkhead, and then played Rangers at home as well after it. And I thought he was good in the 2 games, but he properly stood out in that game, and you could see a couple of goals they've scored.
Yeah.
So it must be hard for him. Like, we all know what John Hughes is like and how he wants his teams to play. For Ross County to go to the style of play they had before, and him to be in for 2-3 weeks, and then score some of the goals they've scored and play some of the football they've played. So I fair play to them, and I can't see them. There's no way that they should go down with
Like
it.
it's 100% down to Yogi because he's such a likeable character and individual. That why would
Enthusiastic.
you not want to try harder for him? I just think that like on Saturday, 4-1 at Aberdeen, 4-1 against Aberdeen, like some of the goals were really good. Don't get it wrong, poor defending, maybe possibly for the first and second goals, but Ross County had more than the opportunities that they scored. It could have been more. But no, fair play to you. Like it's always we are very big on seeing people do well, and like Yogi, friend of the show, super obviously Si got him the job, which was amazing. But
Actually had a big part of it.
a big part of it.
And he phones me every
Are
Friday.
you on
asking what team he
is
should pick as
McGregor?
well.
And you tell me
Has Roy got you on the bonus list this year for staying up?
Few quid in the pocket this week,
I
young
think
man.
so, mate. I think so.
I like Ollie Shaw as well.
Aye.
I think Ollie Shaw's a good player, good touch, good technique. He'll do it. I think he'll do it. Yogi's his type of manager. He needs somebody that's going to play up.
But
Vigers as well. Do you play against Vigers?
is that you should be at Inverness as well?
Inverness, good player as well.
Aye, decent.
Good.
Ask me about any other player, not got a clue.
And that
Paul,
was
what
the-
about you? Ross County, impressive.
He's one of, in Scotland, I look at the managers, there's probably barely any of them I'd want to play under. Knowing but you're looking at him, he's somebody you would wake up and want to go into train every single day. It just looks almost like a
Teddy bear.
daft figure. Do you know what I mean? Teddy bear guy. But you know you don't cross him, but he's somebody you want to run through a brick wall for. And I just don't, Simon, I cannot believe he's been at the game that long.
Why do you think it is? Because he doesn't use big words and...
This is it. It seems like the modern day coach, you almost can't be like, it needs to be this project, whatever the fuck that means. We're known in school.
good
do you know what I mean?
But look at the three ones that are doing well just now. Yogi, Martindale, Mickey Mellon. Speak simple, tell it like it is, Hunter's enthusiasm.
That's what
Set teams
I've
up
got a
well.
soft spot for Ross County now.
Yeah.
See knowing that
Aye.
that you are close with John Hughes and that, I'm going to root for them every week.
Aye, mate,
Aye,
huh?
I've
Aye,
got a
I
soft
love
spot.
John Hughes is that kind of guy that he
They've
could
got some good
probably,
players though.
They do.
he could probably sense if there's something wrong with you as an individual. Would come over and speak
Yeah.
to you, put an arm around you and say, right, what's up? That's a result there. They didn't even have the big boy up front, what do you call him?
He's good.
Stuart.
I like him.
Stuart.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah, that's a good player.
a good player as well, not playing. But Yogi said it in his interview that he's got everybody back fit and they're on the training ground, so that makes his job a wee bit easier because they're all vying for positions. They all want to be a part of hopefully something successful. So nice to see them off the bottom of the table, and like I say, just we see what happens.
There's a thing in football, and I'm getting sick of hearing that about as we talk about modern day coaches, Simon, right? Doesn't matter if you're a manager and you're made a negative style or a positive, it doesn't matter. It's who you are as a person that gets the best. So see if somebody gives you the confidence, you will go out there and give them everything, Simon. And these modern day coaches, I'm not saying all of them because some of them might be good, but I just don't feel you'd be inspired with them at all. The stuff they're coming out with and they're forgetting what the game is. It's so, oh man, I don't know, but I've more now believing tactics are so important, but it's more about the individual, who the manager is, who the person is, to see inspired to get your bed in the morning. I believe John Hughes is in that category.
They've got a wee boy on loan for Rangers, Stephen Kelly.
Good player as well, mate. Yeah.
Michael Gardine. Michael Gardine will probably go down as one of Ross County's best ever players.
I think he'll go down as our best, mate.
Aye,
Huh?
he's been there for
Record
years.
appearance, record goals.
One of Ross County.
See when you get
Not
up
as
in the
good
morning.
as Diageo though.
No, yeah.
I've missed you saying that. Right.
Another good man. I like Jim Goodwin as well. There's another manager.
Brilliant. Another man who's similar like that. I remember I was at Albion Rovers for a week in training, and I went to one of the games to watch him. And he was I can't remember who was the manager there. Who was the manager? Jim Goodwin. Alloa was it? He was the manager, and I looked at him and thought that guy's very good. And just the way he spoke, the way he conducted himself, I think the Albion Rovers guys were a bit peed off him. The way he was acting, he was right on the referee, right on it. But I said something about that guy I like, and another one of the guys that fall into that category.
What did you think of Albion Rovers manager?
Two of them are pathetic. I'll never forget. I really like the two men, two nice guys. I'll never forget it. I went into training for the first day in the changing room. He was like, lads, this is Paul Slane. He turned his back. I did that behind his back. Simon, no word of a lie. That's what I done to the man. And he turned round and he sensed I'd done it to him, and he walked out. He walked out the room, Andy, and that's just to be sometimes.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I've watched so much football this year, and Scottish football is a lot better than what people think
What
it is.
about
Some
that
of the
game
English
yesterday?
games I'm watching, and then you watch some of the Scottish games, it's entertaining.
Here's a worst game in history. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace last week. You watch that? No. Oh my God, man.
Did I see that?
Man U Liverpool's terrible.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what really annoyed me about Man U Liverpool, right? People try and convince you that it's the biggest game in England. Did you see the scenes after the game?
It's embarrassing.
They were all kissing each
I know,
other. It's like people try and tell you can compare to some of the games we've got up here.
What about
Nonsense.
Bruno Fernandes? He had a fucking shocker, didn't he?
I love
But again,
him,
see what he just takes
I
the
love
ball
him,
all the
aye,
time, and he
he's
still
so good.
tries that hard
And when he's
pass.
gone mental when he get taken off.
He's so
That's a
good,
top
man.
player, but innit?
Aye.
By the way, McTominay.
Done alright.
Come on, I thought
Done
it was good.
alright.
I thought it was good.
When you look at Thiago's a...
Aye, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Thiago.
If you want to be a top...
It says a lot when you're watching Man U Liverpool. Luke Shaw's the best player on the pitch.
He was brilliant,
Because
wasn't he?
He was brilliant, but
Aye.
you're watching that game. Like, what a game this is
Mate,
going
I'm
to be.
telling you, I don't get. I love Rashford, and I think it's unbelievable what he's done. I think him, Martial, and who's the man for Liverpool? I said Simon Firmino. I think the three of them are overrated. There you go.
What?
Who? So
Like
you,
you.
Martial, Rashford and Firmino?
Firmino overrated?
Do you think so?
Nah, I like him.
Just doesn't...
I
just
just-
hates scoring goals, doesn't he?
But that's
He
what
just
I was-
hates scoring.
That's what I was going to say though. He's like, I don't know. I think Klopp wants him to play that way, doesn't he? He's
He's a full-back playing up front, isn't he?
He's great at linking up, but like you say, for a number 9, just not
He
enough
might
goals.
take
Mane's the
big
best.
chances.
Mane's the
Mane's-
best. See anyone look Celtic Rangers players that want to be a top player, look at
I love
Mane.
Fabinho as well. I think
Fabinho's amazing, mate. Fabinho's amazing.
Thiago's just a joke.
Animal.
that.
Who?
Thiago's a joke, isn't he?
Who's sorry, mate?
Thiago.
Oh, Thiago.
It's
Football's
just a
easy
joke,
for him.
isn't he? Football just oozing it at that guy.
I tell you one thing though, for some reason you get away with it when you play with down south and at bigger clubs. But see Trent against Southampton.
Oh, he's all over the.
Imagine you done that for Celtic or Rangers. Seriously, imagine you lost the ball 37 times in a game
Times set a record.
for Celtic or Rangers.
Even,
you'd be
even
lynched.
at our level, if you go in the ball 30 times, you'd be off it. You'd
Aye,
be
after
slaughtered.
8 minutes.
I know.
But
Mate, imagine if he did done that, but see if that gave the ball away if they're 3 or 4.
I think he's like, he's that good. He's just like, he's not.
Doesn't care.
See, as much as we're saying that you get away, love people, but come on. After maybe the 12th time
Tell
you
you
gave
that,
that away,
yeah.
keep it simple, mate. Can't just keep giving it away.
Remember Lenny and Dream, you gave the ball away?
Strachan was worse, mate.
Was he?
Strachan was worse than Lenny if you gave the ball away. Still be talking about it 3 minutes later. Remember that when you gave it away 3 minutes ago? What
Was there any, Andy or Kev, was there, or Simon, was there any players, who was the players when you gave the ball away in training?
Fergie.
Fergie the worst.
Aye, by far.
Was he?
Or not even if you gave that away, if you passed it to somebody but it wasn't him, it's still be on you for about 5 minutes.
Mate, players like that absolutely killed me. I used to be scared. I used to love when I wasn't in their team, just because of that, eh?
I used to pray I wasn't in Lenny's team the night before training. No word I lie. I didn't even believe in God. I used to sit at night and pray I wasn't in Lenny's team the next day. Honestly, mate. Or do you know what was even worse? Being a fucking floater. You ever a floater in training?
both
I
teams.
love being
my
a floater,
God.
man. Being a floater's the best thing ever.
Well, because both teams get at you, didn't they? Fuck you,
See if
didn't
your
they?
pitch is a floater, you may as well just fucking get the game up.
Mate, I was shite. Because
nobody's tackling you.
I love being a floater.
Who was Kev, what were you? Any players who were petrified to train?
Do you like floaters?
Nah, not really. Still, not that I can remember.
But they players, I remember Paul, but I've told this before, Paul McGowan and Paddy McCourt. I used to play train.
the way they wanted you.
I used to try to get into their head and think, what do they want me to do? That's how scared I was.
That's terrible.
Paddy was horrible, mate. Is that? But he's a great
I
guy.
can never really remember Paddy being like that.
Mate, the worst.
Was he?
He scored one of the best goals I've ever seen against. I was at Middlesbrough at the time. We played Barnsley. Honestly, the goal he scored.
I can remember it.
He's walked by about 8 people. and
At
scored.
Barnsley?
I was at
I
Barnsley.
remember.
I think you're like one of them, the guys that go mate, no, in training.
Nah, I'm not.
Do you know?
Nah, no to the level that you're talking about. I might say something.
Kev
but
was like
no.
that. Kev would go, you'd batter Peter, wouldn't you?
Would you put him on?
Kilmarnock, I would lose the plot at Kilmarnock because I was the captain. And that's why I gave the captaincy up.
Who would
because
get it
I
the most,
felt-
Kev?
Connor Salmon.
A swimmer.
him or James Fowler. Because I could not fucking for 1 minute.
Is he not a manager now?
I don't
Aye,
know,
was
director of
manager.
football. I
He's
could not for
Queen's
1 minute take him seriously when he was getting me into trouble and telling me what to do. And I'm thinking, you can't even trap a fucking ball. That's the way I used to think. And I thought, like, and big Connor, you could see the good in Connor, but it was more of a frustration because you thought, come on, Connor, you can do better than that. I used to get annoyed with him, and it wasn't that I didn't think he was any good because he was good. He had attributes, but just get so fucking frustrated. And I ended up saying to Gaffer, you need to take this fucking captaincy off of me. He says, why? He says, you're doing a good job. I says, Gaffer, I'm going to kill somebody. I says, just take it off me. I says, I don't want that power. And then I gave him that away and just continued on with my own thought. And then even at Hearts, like went up to Hearts, there was 2 groups, Scottish boys and then the foreigners. And Zariukas and all the Lithuanian, Russian speaking boys, they would all mumble and I was like, right, fucking learn me some words here because you're obviously talking about us. And then
You want it, we para away,
I was fucking paranoid. I said, what are you saying then? Just say it to my face. And I fucking put that, whatever it was, and all that. Kurva. And I was like, what's that mean? I says, fuck you, Kurva. And then they got to know everybody, and we used to fight and argue, but then we became a unit and everyone worked out all right. But you did get paranoid when the foreigner speak.
But is Nazy like that Hearts now? Nazy always
but
had
that's
one
what
of
I'm
the
saying. Teams need people like that. But you're talking about like Fergie was like mental at how much he used to. You could be winning 5-0, and it was just if you didn't pass on the ball, it would go mental. But I think every single team I've ever played for.
It was Fergie's look for me when the Scotland team, and see like if you had the ball and you gave it to somebody else, and you think, oh fuck, I didn't give that to Fergie, and you look at Fergie and he's just looking at you, you're like, oh shit, and you just make another run, and then the next time you got the ball, you made a deliberate attempt to get it to Fergie, because you thought, he's not speaking to me, but it was just like, obviously now speaking to him afterwards, you know that he was just trying to win games of football.
How bad do you feel but when you look away? See pure disgust.
They think I'm shite. That's what we used to think with Roy Keane all the time. See when you say he thinks I am shite.
Mikey Stewart and under 21s used to be like, he was a good footballer, Mikey.
Would he got on to you, Kev?
He got on to everybody. He would fight with everybody. So when he would give the ball away, like 1, 2, maybe third, fourth time, he would just go and pick the fucking ball up and boot it as high as he could and say, fuck this, he's not shite. And away he would go, man. He was mental.
What about Roy Keane?
Oh, mate.
Honestly, I love Roy Keane on Sky though.
He's the best by a far.
Unreal on Sky.
See, training with mate, you were so nervous every time the ball came to you.
Did they slaughter you if you gave it away in that?
He was past slaughtering you, mate. He'd just look at you like a piece of shit on his shoe. It was horrible. But again, I told you, he didn't just do it with the young boys, it was everyone, mate. He was on everyone. I liked that. It wasn't just certain people. Right, Hearts flying. It's done, innit? League's over. How you been playing well?
Well, I still think that it's merely just because I know the players we've got and how good we can be. I still think we can do better. Like, I think we've conceded something like 304 goals or something, but no, we've conceded too many goals. So obviously we've got ambitions to go further and get better. So that's something to get better at. But I think it's 7 points or something. So we're in a good position, but I still think we can be better.
Who'll be your rival? Dunfermline, Dundee?
Played Dunfermline. On it, mate. See, generally, right, I can't believe Alloa second bottom. Played them 3 times now, and they're decent. Play good football and got some good players. But Dunfermline good. We played them. They obviously beat us. Dundee have got good players.
I think Dundee's making a wee bit of surge now.
I think they went on like a 5-6 game unbeaten or something like that, but they had a couple of draws. But I think that's something I've noticed about
the league,
the championship. Like anybody can sort of beat anybody in the championship. So if you put, I think we went on a run of 7 wins in a row or something. You end up getting a bit of gap in between these. But I still think we can be better though. I think the performances we had against Celtic and Hibs, I don't even think we've matched that too many times in the league. So, but
it's a different game in the championship, isn't it?
I know, but I think, like I said, it's made it a case of I know how good some of the players we've got.
Is it harder going to like a smaller team than playing a Celtic and a Hibs?
Aye, I'd say so. But do you know what though? Like, I've heard so many people talk about it. It is so hard with fans.
Yeah.
It's just not the same at all. It's just obviously a lot of it needs to come from self-motivation, and when you've got players that we're talking about the demand and leaders in the squad, it helps. But
is it like a
shite. You just want fans back in, so it just feels like an actual
like
proper sport again. It's not like a reserve game, no, but it just feels it doesn't feel the same. You know what I mean? Like if you do something well in a game, or you do something bad in a game, and you've got that. You've obviously got the fan noise.
Sometimes when you're not playing well and you're needing a wee kick up with that, you might hear that from the fans, and it's just
But does Rob Nielsen, does he shout at the side?
He does. He does. He's
is he a shouter in the dressing room? Does he
shout?
We've
not really gave him many chances to be a shouter, to be honest, but he wasn't too happy after the Dundee game, and rightly so, because obviously we're terrible in the game. And with that, he's a bit of both. He's got both in him.
Jig's a bit Jig.
Jig's got more of that balance where he's like.
You hate
Jig's like the
No, I don't dislike him. No, I just he put demands on you as well.
No, he does. He puts demand on you, but he's a brilliant like sort of players coach as well. Whereas like if you've had a bad result, he'll try and pick you back up. If obviously you're winning games, he tries to keep your feet in the ground. So.
Mackay Stevens as well. Good signing.
Really good signing. Honestly, right, I never knew anything about it as well. It was I think it was my wee brother texted me saying what a signing that is, and I was like, who we signed? He's like Gary Mackay Stevens, but I was like, that is a good signing, but he's not really trained much. He's obviously was in the MLS. Their season finished not that long ago. And
Has he got to be American twin?
no, he's no. He's
His
nice boy.
accent,
though,
his
I've met him
accent's a
before.
bastard, that accent,
Wait, I don't even know what he's saying. I need to ask him.
Flipping on, do.
He came on. He came on at half time at the weekend. He's been back for about 4 days. He's busted his lip. He's got concussion. So I was like, welcome back to Scotland.
What's that? For playing?
He got him and Hal.
He's a punch bag, isn't he?
Mate, him and Hawks ran into each other at the speed of a train. Honestly, it was horrible.
That's a big
And
head, Hulk, isn't it?
He just busted. Not as big as his calf. What is it, his calves?
Johnny Drama.
Busted his lip, and then he got concussion at the weekend. Left back at Alla just ran into him and smashed his with each other. So
He'll be gutted.
that's what I said to him, man. Like, imagine New York to Edinburgh. He said, "I stinker." Oh, it's
What does he think? Come back.
I know.
New York.
big club, mate.
No, you're
I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. We've not even asked him about the cup final, Kev. He's not been on since.
Not really that interested.
Yeah, baby, can I just say, what an unbelievable game. And I was obviously over the moon Celtic went and done it, but also so emotional
Where?
for a man Andy. Because I remember it was the last bit, you went into left back and your calf was really tight, wasn't it? Or something?
It was my calf. It had gone after about 70, 75 minutes or something.
What
I was
a
just
game.
trying. But it was a case of like
You need the calf implants.
Kingsley was obviously struggling at a point, and then Eddie White was struggling as well, and then Eddie White came off and the gaffer was like, go left back, and my calf's gone. I've went left back. I see Jeremy Frimpong come on. I'm like, I can hardly run the now.
I've never won for pulling Rab and jig up, but I couldn't believe he took Boyce off, eh?
No, Boyce was injured as well.
Oh, was he injured?
He was struggling with his hammy as well.
right,
So
okay.
it
Sorry,
was, but she generally talked about the game for a neutral. I don't think there's been a Scottish Cup final as good as that for a long time. Celtic, to be fair, Celtic were really good in the first half, battered us. We were just too passive. Just let them sort of do what they wanted for the first half, and then fair play to the gaffer, he changed it at half time, and then second half I thought we were excellent. And looking back, probably unfortunate not to win it. Obviously 2 penalties away, but you got to penalties a lottery in it, and Celtic end up winning the game. But disappointed, but still proud of how we played, because teams would crumble going 2-0 down.
Can you get the medal
Celtic,
for each flat?
Oh, wow.
I couldn't even tell you where that medal is, mate.
You launch it?
I never launched it, no, but
Not interested, are you? in that?
I've always
Right,
said
what was the worst thing that was said between you and Bruni?
That was
Nothing,
brilliant, that.
not generally, nothing.
It's good to watch that, wasn't it? Is that
Mate,
old school?
people get like, I say this all the time, anything that, if any ding dong you have with Scott Brown or anyone during the game, it's brilliant. You know what I mean, it's just
Part of the game.
I don't like stuff after the game and that I don't agree with, but stuff, anything that happens on the pitch, he's obviously a leader, and that's what I think when he does that, it gets the best out of him. And it's, to be honest, I'm probably a bit similar, which is why when you say when there's no fans, it's hard to obviously build that sort of battle up. But you watch games and I think teams are struggling with there's no fans. That game, it looked like a cup final. Do you know what I mean? Both teams were proper going for it, and all stuff like that, I think it's good.
Is the Jet happy with him, Kev?
Jet's buzzing, man.
I seen him at the game. I've not seen him yet.
He's on the back.
He's sitting with Rocky.
No, I've not managed to meet
to
him yet. No, I've not managed to meet him yet. Probably COVID reasons and that as well. But I went to the physios and I was getting.
If you want to meet him, he's in Kev's boot.
I went to the physios and I was getting a couple of ice bags, and I was hobbling up the stairs, and I looked and I was like, "That's a Jet," and I was dying to talk to him, but obviously focused too much on the game at the time. But it was disappointing to lose it. But
Can I ask you, Andy, correct me if you don't like this question, right? But
Correct me.
See with Celtic and previous times when you played them with Rangers, obviously, did you see a big difference for that Celtic you played against
great
the final
question, Paul.
to previously? When you were at Rangers? Obviously, because they collapsed in the second half, didn't they? Well,
to be fair, what I will say is I thought when it went to 2-1, I thought we would get back into the game. I thought we would score another. And at 2 each, I genuinely did feel that we were in the ascendancy to go and win the game. But the first half, it was a case of, listen, I always know, I still know that Celtic have got good players, they've got a good team, and if they're on it on the day, they're going to be hard to beat. The first half they were excellent, but you look at the goals and it's like, you do analysis all week that you don't allow people like Christie to go with his left foot 25 yards ago because he can put it in the top corner, but there's a ricochet falls to him. and he's got the quality to just put it in the top corner, and then the penalties, disappointing. Then Edward obviously goes up and has got the confidence to chip it down the middle. But
Big Craigie raging.
you could tell he was raging, wasn't he? And he's not really a guy who gets angry, but
Did
he said
Edward
the
not say it
confidence
before
to
it?
take
Do
the
you think that goes?
he's got the confidence, but no, you look back, sort of a couple of chances we had to obviously go on and win it, but no regrets in the game. Obviously Celtic obviously went on to win it and fair play, but penalties in it. Penalties is horrible, man. That's I've only been a part of 2 penalty shootouts, but horrible.
I thought you had done it enough.
Hard to watch as well, man.
Hearts went ahead in the penalties, didn't they?
Aye, sometimes.
You
I can't remember who
Christie missed, didn't he? Christie missed.
Christie missed.
The last 2.
And I think there was only 2 penalties to go. But see, to be honest though, right, we had been practicing penalties all week, and see if I had to put money on one person scoring a penalty, it was Stephen Kingsley. His penalties in training, every time his penalties in training, side netting, and you know, we had probably, I think the manager and the players, we probably had like 5 players set that are going to take a penalty. Me and Boyce are 2 of them, and then obviously we go off struggling, and then, but Kingsley, someone, but it's better players than me and Kingsley have missed penalties, so it's just part and parcel of the game.
Alright, mate. Wayne Rooney, who wants to start? Kev, you've played against him?
I played against him when he was, I don't know, 15 maybe, when he came on as a sub for Everton reserves against us one night. Unbelievable.
What, as in one of the best you've seen?
Aye, you knew straight away that you're on the bus on the way back up to Sunderland, and you're talking about who's that kid, and everybody, this is apparently the next big kid coming on the block. And then I don't think it was too long after that he was making his debut against Arsenal, was it?
Yeah, I don't know if that was his debut, but it was his goal, wasn't it?
His first goal. And then obviously through my time playing with Sunderland, I think I was only ever on the bench once, and he was playing for Man U, and a couple of times that I've been in the squad, he would be playing, and just a wonderful career, wonderful player.
We're putting him in modern day greats.
Aye, definitely.
I think he's underrated.
So do I.
I don't think
Supposedly he just
the-
loved cans, He would go in for training and drink
that.
cans, whereas...
What in it made me
Gans, did you say? So he just loved Grants. But I feel like, how good's Premier League years? I love watching Premier League years, and you watch it back, you forget how good Wayne Rooney was.
I loved him when he had the pure skinhead.
Aye, what a madman, didn't he?
I just think
I was going to ask you though, like,
Hate this.
so obviously,
Don't know what's happening here.
no, but see, generally, when you broke through at Motherwell, everybody was saying you're the next Wayne Rooney and that. But can you not appreciate how hard, like the pressure he was in when English media, you got
Scottish
through
media?
the same
Well, we've done
as the
similar
Scottish?
things, Simon. Yeah. No, what a guy, what a man Wayne is. Underrated, very underrated. Especially in that world, I know. Right, aye.
Do you know what I loved about Wayne Rooney? How he used to always zing the ball. I love players like that. Scholes done it,
What
Gerrard
was your
done it.
favourite Wayne Rooney goal? The volley v Newcastle or the scissor kick v Man City?
I think the Man City one hits his shin, doesn't it?
Aye, he's got to do that replay, ain't he?
Hits his shin.
Like, come on.
Bang your ears.
Champions League debut.
Oh, hat-trick.
goodness, hat-trick.
Remember his goal for the halfway line for West Ham?
Yes.
But do you not think that, like, I know this is going to sound stupid, right? See, he's going against Newcastle. Do you not think anybody can hit a wonder strike?
I went off with that.
But no,
There's a
like,
shine, but-
see the Man City overhead kick. No, everybody can do that.
No.
Like, that's I would never even try an overhead kick.
Nah.
Try to hold it up.
It comes for that angle across, but
What else was he good at,
Flick it
Rooney?
on, innit? Mate, see, to be honest, see people that play at that level.
I
they play
think
one.
what was he good at?
No, but that's what I was going to say. See,
was just
people
all
play at that
round.
level, where they're a striker for 10, 15 years, and the last 2, 3 years go to centre mid.
Yeah. I even loved him centre mid. The way
Aye,
he zinged
so
the ball.
that. Right, it was him and Ryan Giggs centre mid for a bit, wasn't
I
it?
think the only downside to his career was when he every time he got to an international major tournament, he was always injured leading up to it, and he never was able to show his full potential on the big stage at a big tournament. But ultimately, he's won the Champions League, he's won the Premier League, he's won everything.
Aye.
So what was it? He didn't fail in any part of his career. He made mistakes on and off the park, but that's just
Don't know,
human.
Kevin.
That's
Where's he
exactly-
rank in the all-time Prem strikers?
Prem
it's
strikers,
top five.
top five, I would agree.
Top 5?
Aye.
Top 3 for me.
So Henry, Shearer,
Henry Shearer.
Shearer,
Van
Henry.
Nistelrooy.
Nah, it's better
Andrew
than
Cole.
Van Nistelrooy. I'd still put him above.
Nah,
Andy
he's
Cole.
above Andy Cole.
I'd say top 3.
Dion Dublin.
Kevin Kyle.
No,
Kev Kyle, yeah.
no,
That's some of your many guys.
I'm on that list, aye.
Eagles
At the
and
bottom.
Top 3, I think you're right. Thierry Henry, Shearer, Rooney.
Aye. I think Henry's the man.
What about Drogba?
Aye, Drogba. But I'd still have Rooney above him, just
Longevity.
length.
On what?
When?
He is, mate. That's
The thing is, what age is he? 35?
No, I think is he?
36, 35, 36. Like he's still, see later he could still be playing, but when you burst on the scene at 15 or 16, when a lot of kids have done, sometimes maybe don't quite hit the heights that they're asked to, he hit them and continued to hit them season in, season out, week in, week, just like, it's longevity, and the top players just seem to...
That Man U front three, Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney was
terrible,
outstanding, man.
It was the one when he pinged
Berbatov as well.
when he pinged the body, was it Ronaldo or no, Van Persie? And Van Persie volleyed it in. He had a wee bit of everything.
That was Aston Villa.
It was how big he was at that age.
Van Persie was better than him.
I think so.
Aye.
But seriously, Slaney,
They actually are.
but wait,
Van Persie's better than Rooney,
I need more for you. How is it breaking through at that age, being under so much pressure for the Scottish media?
Mate, honestly, it didn't faze me at all. No. Seriously, I don't know, listen, I always this is the thing with me, right? I've always, since I've been a kid, knew I was going to be a star.
One way or another.
Aye, and then see when the football didn't quite work out, I remember sitting in my bed like, talking to myself like that. Something's not right here, this didn't work out. And then obviously when I came into this part, I can see...
Why it never?
Aye, but certainly with the football, it was just there, wasn't it? I was just good, I just enjoyed it, you know what I mean?
No, what a career.
But it was, mate, honestly, I don't think anybody will top that. What an unbelievable achievement that is. 16 European goal scorer at Motherwell, never be breaking that record. Go to Celtic, play, 10 minutes? And that was it, and being part of the...
9 in a row.
Do you know what I mean? And if we'd went and completed this season, it would have been the greatest.
Do you feel as if they've let you down?
100%.
See, you know when they do the sports scene at the beginning of the build-up, all the
Don't
teams...
I talk about that show?
No, I'm going to talk about it.
Sorry, Kevin, sorry.
Do you know that your face card's on that? I noticed it last night.
Is it?
I
swear to God. See when they do the sports scene introduction and they go through the teams and they go to Motherwell, see in the bottom right-hand corner, his fucking playing card, bottom right-hand corner.
No.
I swear to God, double check. I swear to God, it's either that or
See when you were in the paper now, would you keep the papers?
No, my wee ma did. She had a wee folder and she still has to this day.
Well, should they wipe her arse with it?
She'd be better off, Simon, honestly. I don't like looking back at all that, but I always believe once you do next achievement, wait to be going for next. Do you know what I mean? And obviously when I left Celtic, my next achievement didn't go to the right place, Andrew. You know what I mean? And we move on. But certainly I can see myself, I don't know what I want to get into. That's the problem. Well, I'll tell the people who know what I've done.
Right.
And I want a round of applause for this.
Dog walker.
No. I've been successful interview for Iceland, guys. Unbelievable.
Oh, the job, how did...
Job in Iceland in Byers Road.
Aye,
in
brilliant.
Iceland,
So when did you start?
But mate, so see the job interview, it was online, right? But one of the questions was, what does Iceland mean to you? And I went like, well, to be honest, it was actually weird because back in the day, every Thursday morning, my mum got the Iceland delivery. So I wrote that. Said the family used to get Iceland delivery and every Thursday morning we all ran out and got the bags and brought them in. But the question was bizarre. Because see if I hadn't have done that when I was a wee boy, what would you have thought of that? What does Iceland mean to you? You know what I mean? I don't know.
So what, were they impressed with that answer?
Well, I got the job.
So when did you start?
But see, the only thing is I think I'm going to get busted. See the bit it says about your grades in school.
You've lied.
I got my mate who was brilliant and copied and pasted all his own. I fucked it.
I don't blame you, mate. But
no,
but obviously I'm saying the way you broke through at Motherwell.
I'm really struggling with this question. I don't know.
How did you get it?
But no, Iceland's going to need to know that they're going to need to manage somebody like you now.
Something's coming here and I don't think it's
I'm not. So obviously what if there's cues outside, it's like we're in a pandemic, what if there's cues outside that people see you now that you've told them that you're at Iceland and Byers Road?
Nah,
do you think that was daft?
What are you going to do if a manager at Iceland shouts at you for doing this?
No, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to go to Iceland. I've just been accepted the job, but fuck that shit.
Right, last question. Rooney, 35. His Derby team's struggling, by the way. Beat 1-0 for Rotherham at the weekend, but do you think he'll be successful? I have to say it.
I don't think Rooney will be a good manager.
Do you know that?
That's really harsh to say.
Emotional?
That. No, I always can tell quickly when you hear him speak, and Rooney seems a really good guy, but I think there has to be something a wee bit different, and I don't think Rooney will be a successful manager.
You think you need to be like clever? Not saying he's not clever.
Aye, but I know what you mean. I think, I know what you mean, it's me that's actually saying it, but I think he does. I just think he'll might be alright. I don't think he'll be. It's like Scholes as well. When Scholes was a manager, I couldn't ever see him being a manager, and I think Rooney's meant to be See, when he does interviews, he seems quite shy and quiet. And as a manager, I don't think he can be like. I don't know.
I think if you get your first manager's job that young, you need to hire the right backroom staff because
he's hired Leroy Rossignol, which is a bit weird.
He's obviously been in coaching 2-3 years. But see, to be fair, talking about that, he's another one that I've heard a lot of good things to. I'm bumming everyone.
Who for boys at Derby?
Aye, and spoke to Waggy about Waggy raves about him as well. But if you're 35, obviously first managerial job, you want to get a backroom staff that you trust and know that can obviously portray your ideas across and that have got experience. It's hard to say. I hope he does well.
Yes, Kev, do you think he'll do well?
I hope he does well because successful career, it's no easy getting into management. I wouldn't imagine, like I say, never tried it, but I think what you see in Wayne Rooney as a personality on the TV, I think there's a different Wayne Rooney to that. The shy, quiet guy you see in the cameras maybe isn't quite as shy, and I think that, like you said, Derby's got a good squad, so I think he'll have enough time. I think he's got the quality there to turn it around once he gets himself right in there, because obviously he's toying with the idea of being player manager, and now he's just said, right, no, that's it, the playing's done, so time will tell.
You need to do that, don't you?
And if he keeps Derby up and is able to start afresh next year when maybe the world's back to normal, then we might see something a wee bit special. Because Frank Lampard was same position 2 years ago when he took on the Derby role. Now manager Chelsea, got them into the Champions League last year, and he's got them into the last 16 in the Champions League this year. So why no? Why can that not be Wayne Rooney?
And your old team Sunderland doing all right.
Mate, big Charlie White scored a hat-trick all night. They've got 2 home games this week, so hopefully if they win the 2 games they can start propping themselves up the league. But they've been taken over by that billionaire for Lyon, 1.2 billion he's worth. He's only like 22-year-old or something.
Right, wow.
And then they've got Lee Johnson. I don't know Lee Johnson, but apparently good things about him. So he's only got the job at the end of the season, so we'll see what happens. But they need to, if they don't go up this year, then I'd start to worry. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Who's top of League One?
Couldn't tell you. Taking the interest in it.
Sunderland.
It's League One. The top is it no, it's no Lincoln.
It is Lincoln, you're right.
Is it Lincoln?
It is Lincoln. Lincoln, mate. They've come for done really well.
I want to ask you, are you a man of the people?
Aye.
Do you care for the people?
I care for the people, may I?
Are you a man of the people, you care for the people? Do you believe the league should be stopped?
No. Do you?
I think so, Andrew.
Do you think the championship should be stopped?
No. I'm not going to if I... Yeah.
That's us.
No, Andrew, you first came back, give something, give us a story.
What did you say?
That's us.
Nah.
You want to keep going?
Give something.
What else you got for us?
Half 10 on a Monday. Don't know. Let's talk about the summer. How much possibilities have we got this summer?
Mate, how
we're running the show in the summer.
I know.
I actually, mate, once a day I think about the hydro, Mate, I keep watching like videos of Oasis coming up to the crowd.
The hydro?
No, I see how when they performed Oasis.
Whereabouts?
Manson.
But we're doing the hydro.
No, that's what I'm saying. I keep watching them and then thinking.
Oh, thinking us.
Oh, yeah, it's coming out with the crowd, and that just made how amazing.
I'm thinking the Euros. The Euros. I can't wait for that.
What are you going to wear?
Unreal.
What are you going to wear?
I've not really planned it out, mate, to be honest with you.
Kilt?
No.
With a big cock swinging a bit.
Is yours big? You must be big because you're quite hard and tough.
I think so.
What's your first thing you're going to say to the crowd at Hydro? You planned it?
No. I mean, that's my new thing now, because for a wee while when my head was all the gaff, I used to come on here and try plan a wee bit and come on, it was just a fucking shit show. So at the Hydro, I'm just going to come out and whatever comes to my head I'll say. So it could be anything.
Really?
Aye. Anything.
That's when you're at your best though.
Aye, that's when I'm at my very best.
Kev, you looking forward to it?
I've obviously we're going to have to tell a wee couple of stories we've never told, and I've been rehearsing one or two, and it's...
Oh, have you?
Aye.
I'm
40 this year, so
it's... Rehearsing at how, in front of the mirror?
Aye.
What, with the gear on?
Fucking... I reenact the situation.
Oh, fuck. It's not what
I put chocolate on the walls just in case, right? Pretend me Mark Burts was lying in his bed and tell the story, and the mirror laughs back at me, so it's all right. Got a chance.
Mate, I'm not a shy person, but one thing I don't like is public speaking. It's different. Like, see, even if I could do like interviews and stuff like that, nah, it's no bother. But See if I had to stand up to a crowd and speak, I don't know, I don't like it, so the Hydro.
You're covering at the Hydro?
Am I?
Me and Simon's not worried as much because if this guy's on top form, we'll not need to do too much.
Aye.
Because
False line shot.
No, but genuinely, the last year and a half, I don't know what my head's going to be like, and it's nothing to do with mental health for it, and so don't go down there with me. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm going to turn up.
usually summertime saying you hear a wee dip, don't hear a dip this summer, please. Don't.
Aye, I don't know. I could be amazing.
But you've got to realise, right, see that stardom I was talking about when you brought through.
Holiday, this is this.
But
This is almost like we fucking Jackson game.
but see the fact that you've been
up.
through all that, you need to fucking realise
I'm the man.
you're the fucking man, mate.
Daddy, ain't I?
Do you know what I mean?
I went, Matt.
Stop shaking.
Aye.
Did you see my fingers?
Dildo,
Right, I thought you were going to change after what, 4, didn't you?
I'm not. I'm waiting for him to come back on.
If you turned up, Slaney, would you cope with the pressure?
Aye, listen, I'm telling you the new. I'm in a zone where my ma's the nicest person in the world. My dad's the most horrible guy in the world, but in a good way. And I'm caught in the middle. So some days he got me in the wrong day. So I will now tune my hang into him. And listen, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
you know what I
good
mean?
man.
I'm going to be at the Hydro. It will be the biggest night of your life, and I don't know what I'm going to do there. And see if I feel awkward and it's not going well, I will genuinely go and do something bizarre to get myself going. So it could be anything, Andrew.
Aye.
I can't
Can't
see
wait.
you there. What are you going to commit to?
We're not talking about
No,
that.
seriously, what was Bill like at Rangers?